to lunch. The Montreal Canadiens lost this trade, and we are heading over to March 21st, 2021, when the Colorado Avalanche acquired forward Artturi Lehkonen, Montreal Canadiens, because at that time, Artturi Lehkonen was 26 years old, and his contract was set to expiring at the end of that season as an RFA. He was making $2.3 million a year, and in that season, he had 29 points. There was a lot of value that he brought, not necessarily because he was a super high top point producer, but because this guy worked his behind off. He was solid defensively. He can just go and go and go. And a lot of Habs fans respected the hell out of Lehkonen because of it. Not to say that Lehkonen was a bum or anything, but he just was not really the top guy. And so with the Canadiens acquiring Justin Barron, a D-man who at that time was only 20 years old, a right-handed top prospect out of the QMJHL, a lot of Habs fans immediately saw that as a win because, hey, Ed Hughes is selling away assets whose contracts are expiring, and he's getting some really good young pieces in return. Now, unfortunately, for better. In fact, you could say that he might have gotten worse as the seasons continued, which is why he eventually got traded to the Nashville Predators. Now, this is why a lot of Canadiens fans would immediately jump at the gun and say, oh, what a trade hell. Justin Barron is gone. Artturi Lehkonen is in Colorado, and guess what? He's been doing fantastically. Lehkonen, by the way, he won a Stanley Cup with Colorado in his first year there, shortly after getting traded to the Avs. He had 14 points in 20 games in that playoff run. The Avalanche were unstoppable, and Lehkonen inevitably panned out as a middle-to-top six caliber forward, scoring 51 points in 64 games the next year. He is almost a point-per-game guy. Lehkonen scored 27 goals this most recent season in only 69 games. This guy is a 30-goal winner, and he was unfortunately never capable of doing anything remotely close to that in Montreal. Is that Montreal's fault? Is that just an explosion of offensive prowess that was only unlockable in Colorado on Lehkonen's behalf? Or straight up just exploitable by saying, yeah, that's a much more superior team than Colorado. Of course, he's going to get more numbers with the Avalanche. Whether you subscribe to that idea or not, the fact that Lehkonen got traded to Colorado for Justin Barron and a second-round pick can be seen as a lose trade for the Habs based off of what Lehkonen accomplished and what Barron accomplished. But this is where we take a look at just the overall timeline and the trade as to how everything goes down. Because it's true that Justin Barron is no longer with the Habs, and it's true that Artturi Lehkonen is doing very well with the Avs. But I wanted to refer to a post made on the Our Habs sub by I Can't Even Imagine Brian that talks about this Lehkonen trade tree. After selecting Artturi Lehkonen in the second round of the 2013 draft, the Habs traded Lehkonen to the Colorado Avalanche for Barron in the 2024 second, while retaining 50% of his salary. Yeah, the Habs traded for a 2024 pick back in 2022. It was a while ago. Justin Barron would then be traded to Nashville in exchange for Alexandre Carrier. The 2024 second-round pick that the Canadiens acquired from the Lehkonen deal, 57th overall, would be traded to the LA Kings along with the Habs' first-round pick of 26th overall and their seventh-round pick of 198th overall in exchange for LA's first-round pick at 21st overall. To add on the extra picks that were sent away in that short LA Kings deal to make it accurate, the real trade tree looks like this. The Montreal Canadiens sent away Arturi Lehkonen, a 2024 first, which was 26th overall, and a 2024 seventh, which was 198th overall, in exchange for a 2024 first, which was 21st overall, middle age, and Alex Targaryen. Essentially, the Habs traded up in the draft from 26 to 21, using that seventh round pick as the ammo to do so. And honestly, I think that's a pretty reasonable thing to do. Move up 5 spots in the first round, and it costs you the 7th to do so. And get Michael Page in return. Pretty good. This is why the trade could be seen as a win-win. Not because Arturi Lehkonen isn't as good as he seems, but because of the fact that the Habs actually did get some value here. Another post on the RF sub goes out there and says, what do you think of the fact that Lehkonen trade ended up bringing the Habs Carrier and Page? Many fans say it was one of the worst trades of the Gordon Hayward era, and while it's true that Barron didn't perform as well as he had expected, I'm happy with how that trade turned out in the end. Also, while I love Lehkonen, I think it was for the best that they moved forward, and I'm happy that we got his help after the memories he brought us. The top comment is the reason we are making this video. Big shout out over to James, who went out there and said this. Lehkonen, when he was traded, had his best season in the NHL of 31 points. He was 27 years old and an RFA. 26, I think, but doesn't matter. Which team holds on to this type of asset in year one of a rebuild? Especially when that asset could fetch a first-round prospect and a second-round pick. The initial trade did not turn good because Barron failed, and Lehkonen is having his prime year in Colorado. But disregard the outcome. With the info the Canadiens had at the 2022 trade deadline, it's a trade they made 10 times out of 10. This is a smart take, actually. While I agree with your view, you could see that Lehkonen was a good two-way player that could move up and down the lineup and was capable of producing with better teammates. Still, at the time, a first, which was right-handed young D, and a second-round pick, that was a good return. And I guess even though Justin Barron did not end up performing well, the fact that he turned into Alexander Carrier, I think it's totally fine. And the fact that Michael Page is in the organization because they have spent away a 7th-round pick to trade up to get that guy, I think it's also going to be very impactful for the Canadiens longer term. So I think it's a win-win, right? The Habs got themselves some assets that are helping them today and in the future. The Colorado Avalanche won a cup because Arturi Lehkonen was an almost point-per-game guy. Now he's a staple of that middle of the top 6. He's very strong, still very skilled, and very speedy. A lot of folks in Colorado love the way Lehkonen plays. And it's unfortunate because you could never really project him to having those same accomplishments in Montreal. But I do.
What is the #1 German engineer at SUV? Yeah, we did that.
What is happening? I don't know if I'm back. Time to go to our second region in Paris. This is the links of the area. All right, over there is my favorite NBC. But before we talk to her, we got to get something up. Now, because we already had this race, we just teleported here from the backside. So we're just going to run in because running from Godric over to here, there's only one item to get. I can't really do anything in this place, but there is a shopper to be great. Now, you'll remember that we actually already had one of these from that NBC that we killed earlier. So right now, we should have 2 shopper to be greats. And there are 3 in particular that we need. Third one is going to come up a little bit later. But that is tied to the quest of the legendary Great Lady you may have heard of in the Let's Play, the review of the game. Eventually, she is going to get you a really cool seal that scales with like strength, dex, and fate. So definitely worth going through the quest line. So anyway, she wants us to be really great. So go ahead and give her one. That's it for her. So, what's that for her? A little bit later. Here real fast. The last time we visited this For those that are just following the walkthrough for the first time, we came to this a good bit earlier right around. We got a couple different races. We got a merchant up here. This is where we turn in stuff. So I would suggest watching after hearing the episode we did, because otherwise you're going to be like, why does he have all these races? But over here we have Thops. Thops was the basic sorcery merchant. He has a quest, but we need to get a key item, so that quest isn't going to happen until later. So don't worry about him for now. We want to go in here. And we're going to grab this Academy scroll. Grab a scroll. And we're going to go to Church of Vows. It's got to run things around combat. Now, there's a couple of areas in the game that I'm still discovering that also have nighttime boss battles, one of them being the War Master Shack, the other being the Church of Atlas. I didn't find that at all on my other two playthroughs, but occasionally you can come to the Church of Atlas. Turtleman won't be there. Instead, there's a guy called Ballbear Hunter who will try and kill you. He does with respawn right here, which actually lets you see if we can trigger him real fast. Usually it's during the wee hours of the night, so if you're here nighttime or between night and early morning, this guy will be here. And there's a couple places. This guy, you're going to run into this guy throughout the game. You can kill him at a couple different spots. No, he's not here yet, so Turtle's still here. But yeah, if he is and you die, then respawn at the base, pick up your stuff. Try to pass time. Eventually it'll go away. But if you want to get this guy, we're going to give him the scrolls that you have picked up until now. I'll talk briefly about some of these spells for my caster those out there. So some of these are starting spells, breakthrough spells start is a little bit stronger than this guy. It's not bad for a single target, but I think Arc is still better. Carrying Slicer absolutely is the best damage to FP ratio sorcery in the entire game. I've done testing on all the spells. If you're talking about what can I get the most damage for this has like I maxed out, it's around like 141 damage to FP ratio. So for 1 FP, you're getting like that much damage out of it. Highly recommend this. It's also an absolute staple of spell circles. Carrying Great Sword is similar to this, but it's more of an AoE option. I wouldn't use it as much, but if stuff's around you, it's great. Literally, this is more, I think it's useful PvP, because you're going to cast it up and it's going to be delayed. So cast it, run it on the person, and it'll then come out. But this is also a decent spell sword option. Little garbage. This spell lasts like 8 seconds, which is nothing for a weapon enchantment. Black Flame, it's not too bad, but it's also not that good. And we get Lightning Spear soon, which really got classes in pretty much every way. So anyway, what you thought? But after talking to him, we're going to look right on back to the basic clips. Oh, I forgot. There's a needle in the Church of Vows as well. So people pointed out there's a chest you can grab in there. It has a golden needle that's pointless to us for the time being. But the golden needle is just unique in that when you go to Altar Garments. If we want to change the boss armor, you need to have the golden needle. So we're going to get it eventually, but right now it's irrelevant because we don't have boss armor. So we're going to head on over. We're going to go down the two stones first. This one. Whether you want to do this on foot or on your horse is up to you. I feel a little bit more comfortable on the horse because if I mess up, I can do a goal and aim it the double jump to make sure I land on it. But yeah, we're going to jump down between stones. We're going to head on this way. What's it? What's that for? What happened is that everyone else died, just to stop it was a legal mistake and that's the nobody else. Alright, buddy, I was gonna let you live and then you decided you were gonna attack me. That's all they used to charge heavies. The heavy weapons, basically take these guys. I don't know my internet. I wish it was should have made it nighttime while I we could erase it a little bit. So we got the spear, the chest, briefly something like that. Something to go to order of acquisition. If somebody told me about this on stream, it blew my mind. But if you push in the left stick, you can change the way things are sorted. Absolutely crazy. 150 hours in the game just now running this. There's a secret order built in. It's pretty decent spear. It's a great spear as well, which I think are better than regular spears. So for a spear person, it's all right. So looking at the map, we're going to talk about where we are going next. So we're going to be going along this path, and right here, you can see some structures. These are ruins. We're going to be heading on over there. There's the Cuckoo Bloomstone, another Shibuya Arena plus 5 chicken talisman. From there, we're going to head to a secondary portion right here along the shore. That's the second part of the Great Lady Quest, and then we're going to head up to the land around here for drinks. So let's look at those points now. A lot of people have been asking me to keep the map up longer. Main thing is when I go here and I mark, that's what I would suggest you marking as well. So I'm going to be looking at the map a ton, but those marks are pretty easy opportunities to do that. Grab this place. I'm going to make it daytime just so we can see a bit better. There are some nighttime bosses here, but we are not worried about that this particular segment. But we are going to hit one this episode. In general, at this point, we're that is probably strong enough that for the most part, anytime we run into a nighttime boss, we'll be able to tackle at this point again. You won't need to worry about, at the start, I saved a lot of them until later. That's not going to make it a concern. We should have a pretty healthy health. We should have more than enough of the main stat requirements at this point. Be careful with these guys. These guys can malfunction, and I'll be trying to get one to. But you can see how they start kind of spazzing out after they've been hit. And firing arrows all over and whatnot. You let them get too close to you, they'll do like 8 hits within 2 seconds, and you're dead. So yeah, we're coming up to our first ruins, 5 ruins. A couple of different things here. Nothing that's like really getting out of major direct here, so just kind of go through those stuff as you see it. A couple of different night tattoos was going to try and follow up. See, this is why I like this area. This is our second area. Because most of the things here, we're just going to this looks. Yes. This is what we need. We got our 2 fingers here, and it's good. It's going to add 5 to fate, so early on it can help you beat those spell requirements that you might have. And even for non-fate people, what I really like about stuff like that is there are a couple of pieces appear in the game, mainly talismans and on certain elements where the gear might give you stuff like this is going to give us some intelligence. So if you ever want to try something out and you don't have the requirements for it, try putting on the talisman that's going to boost that stat. as well as a helmet that's going to boost that stat. And you might get enough of the requirements needed to get with the bed item. Now, our great lead is over here again. There's also lobsters, and those lobsters are deadly. Oh, wow, that might be crawfish or lobsters. I don't know. Either way, we can very cautious with them. They can do a lot of damage up front, like the giant crabs, and their water spit is deadly. So once you get the, you will those kind of big fast person. If you don't have a second, your brewery is now moving to the third spot, which but it's trying to advance it. It's like up here. Up here, but we're not going there for quite some time, so don't worry about it. Item right in here that I'm just passing by because it's mushrooms. Okay, so now we just kind of have one of these. You can see where the mark is at. There's a teleport here, so I'll use that. That's going to take us. I'll show you on the map once I'm in combat here. Should be another bridge right around here. There we go. So that is going to take us right back here to the south area. We'll probably gate, but obviously we're not trying to do it there. We're not getting. That's why I said not to take it. But we've got the teleporter, we've got the grace. Yeah, let's do this one first. So there's like a little battle that's going to happen here. A bunch of stuff is going to summon up. I would suggest just grabbing the Academy and rebel against the Royal Family, so the Royal Family and guards, and that's kind of all the fighting that's going on this week. So this path that we're going to do right now, there's going to be a Knight Rider here. We're going to kill him. We'll try to kill him in a second. Family village should be fine at this point. It's just my struggling with the so if you're struggling, don't worry about it. There's the Ice Spear and Ash of War, which is the House Punch or whatever, it's cool. But yeah, I want to stress that on any of these world bosses, and a lot of people are like, I can't beat the dragon right now, what do I do? If you are fighting any world boss, whether it's a Deathbird, or a Knight Rider, or a dragon, or whatever the case is, they are always there. Night bosses, they don't, ever disappear with the exception of later in the game, over here in the capital, there are some events that happen at the very end of the game which can change the capital itself. And at that point, anything you miss in the capital is gone. But obviously, we're going to make that extremely clear before that happens. And that is, honestly, that's so far away before we got to the idea. But so, yeah, any of these church bosses you did, or any of these dungeons that we go in, like, you go, oh, I missed that dungeon. And they'll like, I can't use that guy right now. Just come back later. There's nothing that you have to do. What I do. This is just the order that I found to be the most effective and useless. So never built. We got this down just run on Charlie guys. Obviously, you get a good hit that hits him and the horse. That's a bonus. Next I struggle with this because casting on the horseback is honestly, I think it's a little tanky, and on top of that, your weapon is usually like a rapier or something. So a little bit on range, I think just do a bit easier. The fastest is the one thing people may just really suck on this guy. You can actually cheese this guy, and I'll show that very quickly. So if we just run on over to here, the grace we got is right there. Run a little bit, and this guy should respawn after you get a little ways away. You see how I'm speeding away? And his health will actually stay where it was at. So if you're a mage, this is probably your best weapon. This is what I have to do with mage. I'm back. Okay, now while he's not paying attention, get all the other rocks that would be in the base. Melee builds, obviously, that's not a concern. Just, you know, get out of the horse and let's go back. That'd be alright. Watch out for the bear. Lucky that you got there, saved his ass. I was about to get the juice and critical on his face. No, maybe some of those crackers. Come on, crackers. You know, yes, they're not just snacks. They're oh my god, you need to stop, bro. Tired of this jumping around. Yeah, you'll get some souls. We'll get next year. After this, we're going to go back to a highway farm. We're going to go to a stoppage stone. And then we're going to go to the bottom catacombs. Okay, coming in. Now, this next part is actually something I forgot. The initial recording, so I'm having it right here. I'm going to snag this real fast and then go back to the original recording. But there's a tower right over here. We're going to run over there. But two quick moves. If I missed something, the video is fine. I can just go back and edit it like this. But once stuff goes live, you know, it's something I'll cover later on. So got a ribbon in it, and then we go this way. We should have a stone cookbook in. Climb up here, and there's a few things to kill on a staff we can grab. Now the staff isn't going to be better than the meteorite staff. I've already suggested using your mage. The staff can get better. But you need to be around level 13 on it for it to scale up better. But one thing that's interesting is it does boost both sorcery, so worth it. But anyway, after you get that, it's going to work on that, but then I'll let you original so you can move in here. So in particular, you can kind of see there's a map right here. Use a bit of a market. Just you want to go here, and then you want to go here. So the easiest way is just look at the compass at the top of the screen. Notice you're heading directly east. Once you start seeing the flip side, you have your right stop. There's a couple of pieces that are around here, and we'll try and attack you. Run past them. They're inconsequential. They jump down and try to hit it. We got to work out that stuff going if we want out of it. So. Just builds and traps, I don't really worry about. We're about to be at a great site anyway. I was just running along the cliff with the cliff on your left-hand side. And it's kind of tucked away, and you see the opening. There it is. place. This is actually pretty long. Those are things some big boys so don't be worried about having anything to the foliage going into this kind of home. You don't need it. Don't have an elevator in the start. Roll off the elevator, put this to the bottom, because you're going to get the bubble just waiting for you like almost every single time. Can't be done this. This is the boss one. Can't do that just yet. And my daughter's not too good. So eventually we're going to go down. But for now, I'm just keep this moving along. Oh, we got a trap right here. Get it to shrine and water. I really like these traps today.
The locked and stare down with Mother Nature. Some but others refuse to yield to her extraordinary power. They are the ones who will step up and do the thing when everyone else would really rather.
Oh my God. Oh, I have some bigger arrows. Now we have one golden seeds and the silver spears. So I just found it out here. So you see through right here, right our first big boy. And you may remember some of these dudes from Stormdale Castle. So these guys can be quite deadly. I like the charge setting as well. Put stagger. Alternatively, wide circle backstab, and then even though the big area, I have not had that drop before, so this thing looks 24 oversized double-headed action is on helps with the appearance. Pretty with the 7x5, that's not too heavy either. I like solar pump things, so almost every enemy in this game you can get their weapon to drop. Take these ones out since they're oh no, this is bad. This is bad news bears. Drop. My time to get a deal on. What not thing? No. Just gonna put it in the double stage before we die. Okay, so just, oh yeah, there's a helmet behind here that's kind of weird looking. Stat-wise, it's absolutely terrible. I haven't found any particular reason for the helmet. Maybe it was a side quest in the game, but it's like a mirror helmet. So your character looks like they're just wearing like a picture on top of their head, just a little mirror over it. You know, if you want to do that, that's on you. I'm not picking it up because it's that terrible helmet I found that really very useful. So the Lunar, let's finally show you how the Lunar does. So when you have these later on, so you also get them from doing co-op invasions. You go ahead and pop that. Notice is all of my stats have gone up across the board, which is why I think that's one of the best breakthroughs in the game, because I have more resistances, I have more attack damage on my stuff, I have more skilling on my skills, my health, more stamina, etc. It's just so good. So we're going to continue on. There's going to be a bunch of imps that we're going to have to fight. You can see now, fast and shows they got a little bit more strength and a little bit more dex. But keep in mind, when you die, you will lose the effect of the greater that you had active. So this is a permanent buff. You need to pop it every time you want to stay alive. So let's tap right here. This is the sight. Fantastic dexterity weapon. Another big sight earlier. That's another big sight. Regular sight. Very solid choice for the dexterity skills. Good reach. Good bleed. You can hit stuff through shields when it's two-handed, like not just like helping make a shield, like hit stuff with hand two-handed and outright. So you hurt stuff through its shields. Because there's so many weapons in this game, I'm probably going to start just making a brief, like 5 seconds right now, whether or not I think something's worth using. Okay, so that way now we can drop down to the book. 10 seconds, drop down to this, drop here. And I would suggest dropping from this portion, just so the fall is lower. Alright, you already saw me. Now, there's a couple big boys down here. I'm going to try to be mistakes. Gotcha. Now we have to hit him with the wake up. Oh yeah, with the bleed. And now we have Radical. Oh no, but you got that idiot until now. So here we have these things are just overdue. Which ironically enough, you're beautiful prattling.
City government provider experience for fresh starts. This has everything in the financial journey. Like single dollar every day. The plus things that have been more of what you learn and back home. So what that means?
Kate is actually involved in the weird demigod person's side quest, the one that I said like we're not going to bother covering him. That makes me happy, but don't get anything from him. But maybe there is some secret hidden condition that I've not been aware of. Give another one. Of course, there's another trap here. They're big targets. They don't do well against us, though. Let's see. 2 big boys, bunch of dudes, other biggins, and one more. It's a new jack, just to pay jack as well. After that, we got another bigger cat. Oh my God, big bully! Let him go! So the page actions are definitely worth a quick mention. They're a little bit more expensive than the C81. But the page is this really annoying spirit that has a piercing sword and crossbow that can shoot explosive bullets. So in terms of ranged spirits, at this point in the game, this would be your go-to choice. You want something that's just going to sit for range and deal damage. can't go wrong with that one. Later on, we run into pages that have the multi-shot crossbows. Man, they are terrifying because these things roll up on you and they shoot like 3 explosive bolts out and your health just plummets. Like that. Somebody just run back this way. And I'm already a little up, so let's go ahead and just get the elevator. We'll just go on, and if I die, I just lose one right here anyway. This is going to be another one of those cat statue things. You get the mercenary axe killing you. But this one has some sorcery stuff. Pretty easy to avoid. It's godly. So Cadence also decent choice into those big mercenary dudes that you fought a bunch in the front zone. Looking around fighting one with Resident. I think it's just that one. But yeah, not a bad choice. Bit tankier than a lot of the other summons we've seen until now. But I mean, honestly, if you're the FP for a big summon at this point, you already got the site. Oh, real good. Okay, so from here, we look at that marker. Let's see kind of how the one pathway. Okay, let's just finish up this zone. We're almost, not this whole zone, but we're almost through this portion of the zone. And we're going to push it a little bit more. So we're right here, back at Highway North. Instead of going that way.
Wow, really good for his first season. Plus 40 shit.
So, in particular, you see there's a grab, there's a starlight star like over there. We have a mariner right around here. Smithing in the graveyard, guys and stuff. So let's go do that, and that way just push it up the area. It's knocked out. Just the bottom right facing the cliff, but you go up the area with stuff. These others are so massive, it's just ridiculous. Especially I can actually take this off and go for something that's a little more useful. Because right now I have this stat that's from highway on, so I don't need to worry about the source ceiling. So I've never experienced very odd crab. There's a crab in the forest here. I didn't get anything from killing him. I even tried killing the crab as well as all of the baby crabs. Still didn't get anything. So I don't know. Maybe there's some hidden secret involving in that crab, but as I mentioned at the start, sure people are going to discover stuff for probably years to come about this game. But when you grab that Starlight Shard, and we're going to keep trying, Mariner coming out. These guys are, y'all know the drill. These guys are pretty easy. The B-side quiver because of Mariner. muscle matches from that. After, of course, there are a couple things here in the graveyard that you snag up. If I read my notes, there should be Smithing 3, and what else? Smithing 3, and anything else that will be. Alright, then let's get it up again. There's some dragonfly heads next to this next big graveyard. There's a dude right here. This guy didn't probably kill you. So just for now, right up past him, we're gonna get another grace, and also for the paintings, the late grace and this resurrection. I want to pick that painting up. Let's put the grace. And here, grab this. Then we're going to kill the knight. So this knight will drop the skull up there. My big people, I probably know what before. Drops a lightning spear, crappy lightning bolt that isn't quite as good, and then an electrify armament that is really good. So definitely want to take this guy out. There's also a chance that you get a shield to drop, which is a really solid shield. It's a great shield that doesn't have anything on it, which the reason that's so fantastic is you take the great shield and you can put like barricade on it. From that, we're done. We looked around and hit this. It's crazy how much stuff was packed just into this little area. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. This, by the way, is the bridge that goes to the Divine Tower for the region. You hit that up later, but it's a whole different slew of activities, so we're not concerned about that for the time being. But let's head over to the church. We're going to turn this in. We're going to make our way back to Lake Basin Cliffs, which is where we're going to wrap up. Obviously, you don't need to turn these in at any particular time, but just to talk about it because people that are going to pay the bills. Lightning Spear, super good. This thing is fast, does high damage. Honestly, this is probably the best iteration of Lightning Spear we've seen since pre-nerf Lightning Spear's Dark Souls 2. This thing is beautiful. I've tried this on a 60-page incantation build. It's just great. Electrify Armament, though, that's good. That's basically just like kind of like the base. So definitely some nice stuff with my power boards out there. But anyway, we're going to head on back to Great Basin Cliffs. Just to give an idea of what we have coming up in the next episode of tomorrow. We're going to drop it down for another cave that's right here. After that, we're going to head on over to this. We're going to swing and try and get all of the stuff that's out in the marsh. Do a little bit of village over here. Get some stuff that's on the village here. So there will be a lot. I'm going to try and get all of it for one episode, but I'm not sure if we'll be able what is happening on that. Episode 15, so the my count is on. Continuing along the we're starting from the Lake Basin Cliffs, and we're just going to head northeast, and there are some more tombstones that I want to drop down there over there. So there is a dungeon right here. I just like doing the tombstone approach to get to a little bit sooner. Otherwise, you're running all the way around here.
So, sleeping in 1,000 miles from anywhere else. Explore unforgettable glamping and wildwood stays in Marion Illinois' entire world of hotel rooms and cities.
Welcome back. Okay, so we got a great discussion to start off today, and I'm sure there's a video if you want to know my opinion. The Vander King is now another Vander with Nuts. I'm not a huge fan of this trade. I'm going to say say that at the start here. Kane's 33 years of age, who missed the entire regular season this past year. Last season, he played 77 games, had 24 goals, 20 assists, 44 points. This season, 21 games in the playoffs, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. Now, he has a $5.12 million cap hit. He has 1 more year left on his contract. He's going to finish free agent this summer. This leads to perhaps a little.
For those of you just joining us, you couldn't have picked a better time. The start of the first overtime is well underway. We are in Nashville Wings territory now. Who's going to step up and be the hero? Some solid defensive work in their own end with the poke check. And that one's turned away. Laval's looking to break out. And that's knocked away by Thompson. Sends it across the ice. Now a quick pass to Fitz-Wolansky. Oh, it's a smooth skate to lose it on the air. There's the whistle as the puck stopper elects to hang on.
Merrill's playing with such confidence right now, and he's got this point streak going. And when that's happening for you, you're having a ton of fun putting up the points.
And the center slide towards the dot here. He's got a face-off set to go. Puck grabbed by Thompson. Oh, they telegraphed the pass, and he takes it off. Here's the puck. And they can't hang on after that hit. The Rocket have position along the boards. Tenacious battle for the puck along the wall. Takes the puck along the boards. Looking to end it. And we get a whistle as the goaltender decides to hang on to this one. A lot on the line here in this offensive zone face-off. Laval's won it, now they'll go on the attack. Oh, much respect as he blocks that one. Hurley's got a hold of the puck now. Picked up along the boards by Fitz-Wolansky. Gaining momentum up along the side. Fires it on net. Oh, he stops that one. Laval's got possession of the puck. Receives the pass. Strong defensive effort. Lapierre's stick handling in his own zone. To the low side. Back to the blue line. The Aces slide the puck near the point. There's the whistle and a much-needed match.
Well, everyone takes a breath of fresh air here. They're able to reset as they get chaotic in their own zone. They lost their coverage. They get the whistle now.
Lucius wins the draw inside his defensive zone. Laval's in transition. Loose puck battle along the boards. The Rocket have taken position along the wall. Laval's going to play it from the corner. Hurley's got the puck. Passes it to Middle. And a nice poke check inside the neutral zone. Laval's got a hold of the puck. Here they come up along the wing. Poked away in the defensive end. Slides the puck ahead to Addison. Takes the feed from the left side. Laval's got the puck in their own end. Quick feed through Lucius. Sends it over to Dubé. Slides it back to the blue line. Oh, what a save in front.
Does a great job with some great pushes to get to the top of this crease to save some high danger area.
Goaltender covers up and looking to face off. A big face-off here inside the offensive end. The Aces win it in the defensive zone. Looks to make a play over to Sokolov. Great read with the stick. Puck picked up by Sokolov.
That's what you call triple J. Took a fortuitous reach now. You have to be able to spell it.
exclusively on EA Sports.
Obviously, going to drop a lot of rooms. So instead, we're going to be focusing on hitting the main stuff, which is largely staying up. So if you can see down there, there's a bunch of stuff. And there's some poison bloom that you can get down there. So if you feel like doing a sprint through the poison, by all means, go for it. But a lot of that stuff, like stuff we're picking up right now, the cave moss and all that, that'll always respawn. But I like to stay up top so we can take out these poison and just go run jump to go across that one. Now we're going to go to this portion first. Should be some mats waiting for us, and we'll pop it out. Also, there's the cave moss here that you put funny out because we're going to need that to craft some of the later stuff. Let's go first with the bats. As always, look at the dagger. Actually, but the bigger problem is rock, which up until now you probably haven't had to deal with rock. And I bet gold rings, got the armor, got the 7 arrows. Looking good. A lot of mushroom man. Poison man. Oh. Now we have this move right there, and what you would have to do is you want to get on this way. So you have to go there. I just run. And then it's all that. I go around the corner. Stay to the left again. See more bats. And then I'll jump another gap. And down there. I don't believe there's any other things down the poison area. I mean, you have the poison room, of course, but those aren't really needed. And we're going to continue through, and we're going to fight in round 9. You can kill these guys if you want, but no matter. Probably better just to kill them before they start doing their little poison this thing. Okay, clean rock's not too bad. I think for the most part this guy's actually pretty easy. Count those any blocks like that. There's a couple of unique attacks you can do. I go summon up a bunch of little spheres on the ground, but I go by as far as you can see, just staying on this guy. He's just dying.
We are just about to drop the puck here in overtime. What a time for you to tune in if you're just joining us here now. The next goal will be a goal in overtime, and it is sudden death. The puck in out of the red zone. Takes the ball, hangs on to the puck for the win. Oh, we are still tied with a stop.
Barrel's been feeling it, James. You know who else is feeling it? His teammates. They have been the beneficiaries here is a great leader on the ice who's just distributing the puck and generating a ton of offense.
The Aces win it. And now it's back.
Such an impressive save, James. I'd love to look at these ones again because it's not just being in great position, it's being desperate. It's finding a way to get to the puck, keeping your eye on it at all times, tracking it, out-battling and out-willing everyone around you.
Something, how did I get that? You haven't been following the association order. Not to sound like a dick, but I'm not gonna. It comes to the fact that I'm not gonna.
A critical draw here.
You're following the guy, not that you're starting at puck 13 and then wondering why they're seconds.
Off the draw, they take possession. And down he goes as the puck goes free. Trudeau's got it in the offensive zone. And he slides it quickly to 2-4. Moves the puck along the half wall. Denies it with the pad. Puck is frozen and we'll get a face-off. This is a face-off they'll definitely want to win here inside the offensive zone. Burnaby's won the face-off deep in their own end. Slides the puck over. Burnaby's got it along the wall. Oh, feel that one. Crosses the puck loose. LaValle's going to hold him against the wall. And now he moves it quickly to back. Shot! Makes the save. Grabbed along the board by Dufour. Slides it diagonally to fix Wolansky. Takes the pass. Excellent stick work on the play. Scrum along the boards. Scooped up along the wall by Dubé. Puck scooped up by Lucius. LaValle's got it across the line. Moves it to Farrell. Too many bodies in the way. Mills lugging the puck. Hammers one at the net. Oh, what a stop at the club by Comesso. A big draw loading here in the offensive zone. Lucius has won the draw. They'll go on the attack. Oh,
I absolutely love this goal, James, because it's the attention to detail, eyes on the prize, just showing how dialed in you are to be able to have that hand-eye coordination and put that puck in the net.
my name is James Stacey. Thanks for joining us for more of us here at EA Sports. Good night.
Reports on deck. So what I mean by this is, let's say I'm running around right now with about 28,000 rooms, and I die. My rooms are on the ground. Now, and I'm desperate to get back to my rooms. That is when I'm going to put this up. Because if I die while I'm running for those rooms for that big pile of 30,000, this gets sacrificed instead of that pile of rooms disappearing. So it is much, much better to run around with the second talisman and then use this while you try to make a sprint to retrieve your rooms than just constantly running around on this with the just the drop backs and whatever. I have a lot of people that they just that's the appendix in my experience. Because basically, it's like there's a specific trigger that the birds don't disappear automatically in the sky. The birds disappear when a room loss is triggered on death, and this item prevents that room loss on death. So, anyway, just fun fact there. A bunch of stuff we're not going to go, so let's close from that and talk about it all. So, we have last spell rooms right here. This place can be a little bit tricky, but kind of in the northwestern part. There's going to be, there's going to be an academy just northwest of that. Right around there is going to be a little thing you can get, a little spirit spell. After that, we'll shoot over to here for a volcano mana NPC. After that, we are going to go over here for Grace as well as Patches, assuming you didn't kill him. This is where he'll be next. There's the half-kill Patches, missed down a couple weapons, it doesn't affect the platinum. From there, we're going to make our way south to get to a Firelight camp that has a prayer book and a few other items. So there are your markers. Now, the biggest thing to look out for in this area is there are a bunch of different enemies that will cast these little death bells. And besides that, there's one that can come up out of the center. The one that comes up out of the center is the most dangerous by far. You don't need to really worry about killing these guys. You can just run right through this. If you want to kill them, that be my guess. But just be wary of the big one. The big one, you can catch you unaware. You can tear through your health fairly quickly. I'm going to show the big one spawning. The last one doing this. So right towards that central structure is where this guy is going to pop out. That's where one of the teleporters is that gets us back to the church. You see, that's the big boy. Second three. And that's the guy that I want people to be wherever you go. Let's head out into here. You should be safe. I've never seen him follow me again. So here we get a new feeling affiliate. It's the same exact battle with the enemies in this area. Some of the little raids and chase you around. So, I mean, if you want to use it, go for it. Costs a little bit of FP. In general, I think items like that are more just like a fun little thing to mess around with rather than something that's actually fairly useful. But over here, talk to this NPC. This is for the Volcano Mana Quest line. This is one of the routes that will get you a permanent invasion item. And in addition to that, it will get you access to some spells, some cool weapons, some cool armor. Once again, none of it is blasphemy, it's just a lot of cool stuff. So after you're done with her, point number 3, she's just forced to get a necklace. We're going to run and do all that. Always burn through the dialogue because I already know all the steps anyway. So there's some shiny there. Anyway, go on here. Put that marker, grab this grace. I'll talk to Patches. So, just speaking of, he's going to talk about the girl that we just talked to. A couple different things to point out. We're going to definitely pick up this episode key. This one's good because you can get gold people without foot. So, those of you that are obsessed with farming, this will increase the amount of rooms you can get. This is the recipe that we need to make it. This thing is interesting. Market Shackle can be used to bind targets to convert. Now, we've already killed Market, but there's some time this come into effect later. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. It's 5,000 rooms, and on top of that, it doesn't really hold him down for too long. It's like a split second. So I know a lot of people look out for the Shackle. I don't think the Shackle is really useful. My testing, I found it just not. It just doesn't work. It stops for like a second. But anyway, head to the fourth marker that we made. That's going to be the Firemonth camp, which has a few different items. The more importantly, a pair of them, which, unfortunately, I mean, the Pyromancies are really, really poor this time around. Like, it's just really sad, you know, because I love Pyromancy. Pyromancy is one of my favorite play styles, and I was really able to defend the Pyromancies. Some of the good. Sadly, they're not. I think there's some of the incantations you can have. Pyromancies are some of the weakness. So, either way, I get the fire on turbo. Disturbing. That's down purely. The back is dead. For that marker, we're going to send him a turbo to talk about it briefly. Well, the government grabbed it fast. But I mentioned this is the goal of being able to keep this to the alterations on demigod moving. This is something. There's a difference between the Neo and the scaling tools. One wants this alter at the raisins. And then you're going to put this. Let's talk about some studs. O-Flame is basically this game's version of Combustion. It's not very good. Kind of takes a while to go off. Damage is fairly low. Surge O-Flame. This has some decent finish potential. You just like shoot out a little fire. So if something is really low, you could use it to finish it off. Also, kind of fun in PvP to like just walk at people and slowly torch them to get the final hit on them. But anyway, head back to the scenic island here. This is what we're going to continue from. So from then we go down here, finally, we go here, and then we head up now here. So there's our markings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can follow this thing if you want. It leads you to the sacred little cave. I'm going to video there anyway. So a bunch of dudes here. We're just banging this.
Oh.
Oh, let's kill these guys. Number two, which is Ron Shack. Now, on my Let's Play, I just killed this dude. You should buy the necklace off him if you don't want to kill him. But talk to him. He's going to give you some amount. Anyway, offer the deal. Purchase high-rise necklace, thousands. After that, we talked to him again. So, thoughts, produce physical ramification. A little bit later, he's going to get food stock. So, you more problems, and you get the summit. But the major reason for buying instead of just beating his ass is this gun is tied to one of the hidden endings. Now, let's maybe talk about this. So, there are 3 trophies related to the end of the game. We have the Frenzy ending, we have a Stars ending, and then we have a Lord ending. Those are your 3 trophies. But besides those, the Lord ending has multiple hidden variations. We have the typical one, which is like the Lord. To keep this as vague as possible, there's one which involves curse, there's one which involves order, there's one which involves death, and then of course there's the default Lord one. There may even be more. These aren't tied to secret bosses or secret agents or anything like that. It just gives you.
He's playing really well in these playoffs so far. I'm impressed by this 18-year-old kid right here.
Just, more stuff to discover, basically. But anyway, going into his quest line, it's tied to the secret curse engine. not in particular, but he ties it to the guy that does the first something. So ultimately, it doesn't matter if I would be alive just because we get some armor from doing that quest. The general rule of thumb is to, unless I explicitly tell you, yes, you can kill this NPC, you shouldn't kill an NPC. Hungry now? Now? So we're following the lake, and now we all get here the first taste of a crazy lobster battle. There's probably spent my minutes before doing this, but I'm not worried. I believe in myself. So head towards number 4. And that's going to be another one of those little standing towers. Now there's a little piece of loot that we're going to grab there. There's a bunch of sleeping lobsters there, but you'll notice that there's this one that's just nearby that is not with that group, and that's the lobster that we want. This lobster is not a lobster, or a crawfish, or whatever these things are supposed to be. But it's one of those crazy monster things that we fought. And that was sort of parading around as something that is. So once you get it.
For those of you just joining us, you couldn't have picked a better time. The start of the first overtime is moments away. We are in next goal territory now. Who's going to step up and be the hero? Pass out front, and a shot stop for a scoring chance there. Big play inside the defensive zone. Feeds the puck to Fitzwallace. Burnaby's on the attack.
Free shoot. Oh, no.
And a strong defensive effort to get in front of that. Great hits up play with the stick by Kukkinen. Gaining momentum along the boards. Bumped off the puck. The Marlies have it against the wall.
Oh, you don't practice that one in goalie sessions, James. You just have to have fight and compete to get to that puck. He has all of it and makes the save.
Burnaby's got it in their own zone. Battle along the boards. Taken along the wall by Kukkinen. And he slides it quickly to Johnson. Quick pass to Benny. Great use of the stick in the defensive end by Crozier. Burnaby's got the puck along the wall. Chance to win it, and he keeps it alive. What a stop! Picked up along the wall by Kukkinen. And now it's to Benny. Handles the pass from the right side. And now he moves it to Shaw. Quick shot! Big time save! Oh my goodness!
Technique out the window. This time it's all about the competitive will to get to that puck.
Takes the cross-ice pass. Makes a move and the puck hops away from him.
He's got such a slick set of hands. He's trying to manipulate his opponent one by one, but he tries one too many, James, and he loses the puck.
Shuts him down. And he maintains possession of the puck here. Takes it to the front. Stopped by the goaltender. Here's a chance. Oh, and it's another save.
Man, is he ever quick on his feet, anticipating the play. Excellent reflexes. He's saving his team right now.
Toronto's got the puck against the boards. Steves explores his options behind the net. Here he is on the tip for the win. Oh, what a save to keep it tied. And that's knocked away in the defensive end by Carrick. Oh, what an incredible save.
I don't even know how he got to that. That's fierce athleticism to be able to get back to the net and make that save, James.
That was amazing. And as play continues, listen to these saves. They're starting to get louder. Recognizing what we saw not long ago here, Cheryl.
Yeah, James, I mean, they're continuing to approach a save he made earlier because they know the temperature of this game. Hey, the fans are never...
Oh my God, what fucking shock.
I'll tell you Game to play tonight.
You can just see the weight shift, James, there in that slap shot where he's able to just peg it as he walks into it and beats the goaltender low stick side.
A fun night of playoff hockey, and these playoffs, well, they have been intense, and they have been electrifying so far. We will see you at the next broadcast. For Cheryl, I'm James. Good night.
Still have the might be able to come to this episode. Still had on that. Let's see if I can get 3,000 real fast. Not for a level. More than enough. Go ahead and try to pop that again. There we go. So you need to get, you need to have 3 separate invasions that go through for this quest line. Now there are 2 different ways that you can get an early on ring, or an early permanent invasion item. It's doing these invasions, and it'll give you a permanent one. Or it's doing the ultimate on the quest line. So either of those will get you it. I think there's no difference between them. It's just 2 different routes you can go. Want to continue this quest line, which can get you to the Board of Blood area sooner if you access to the lead spells in the beginning. You need to do these invasions. So there's also some upgrade mats in that zone. Getting access to them sooner rather than later is good. These invasions are rough at the moment. Realize the popular character goes in the you go there and you have CDs and other people that are following this walkthrough. In the community, you see their signs and messages and stuff around it. So this is not going to work. There we go, finally got it. Now we're not going to actually waste any time debating. I do lots of communicating. Fans of Bloody Fingers, you get those when you invade. Op it, it's a repositioning tool. It's mainly so that, at the beta we thought it was just going to disappear, but it's mainly, hey, if you spawn on the clip, and kill the others, you use that to spawn somewhere else. But anyway, after spawning in, just go to multiplayer, finger severer, and return to your own world. If you want to PvP, by all means, try and kill people. PvP is a really fun part of the game. You're only going to invade people that are going to show up or that have the Conqueror's Tongue, basically inviting invaders in. So, keep in mind, it's not just going to... I think there's definitely a bit of confusion between things, so I want to talk about this. So this is the duelist center. You see those red signs? That is somebody that said, hey, I want to fight somebody. I want to, I want to 1v1. And typically, when people are doing they're 1v1. Probably did. Feel bad. Burgundy for Bears. It's forever immortalized in the walkthrough series now. He was right there. He was right in front of me. I couldn't help myself. It was just like that. But just waiting to kick off the swing set or something. I don't know. Had to take much. But yeah, so duelist fingers, those are for duels. If you see one of those on the ground and you fight that person in, you know, the healing is supposed to be a 1v1 fight to death. If the other guy starts healing, then go ahead and heal. The general dueling etiquette is say, you know, we're not healing. I'm talking about red flasks. I think blue flasks are fine because the mages are out of mana they can't cast. I think monstrous physics are fine, but red heals are generally a no-no. Now, in raging, on the other hand, you're straight running into somebody's game. Same as a home invasion. You know, you're sitting there at the kitchen table, you're eating your cereal in the morning, and someone else kicks up on the front door, and they decide they're going to come in and attack you. There are no rules in invasions. There are none. If somebody is playing like an absolute scumbag, that's the game. That is the game. If they are healing, if they are jumping up on you, it's an invasion, bro. So, end of the day, anything goes in invasions. Do not expect players to bow. Do not expect players to not heal. You know, if an invader comes in and decides to drop your items, that's cool. But I want to reiterate that there are no rules in invasions. In fact, I would say like the only general etiquette for invasions is, you know, don't be a piece of shit. Like, don't exploit, you know, things that are glitched in the game. Don't use cheat engine things to kill people. Because if you do that, you're just, you know, you're just a worthless bag of dicks. And hopefully you get permanently banned off the game, and then all your friends laugh at you because you can't get the game done with friends anymore because you were banned for being a mindless child that had to cheat to win. So yeah, obviously no cheat stuff. Besides that, there's no rules in invasions, baby. You want to run in and just spam Dragon Breath, do it. You know, it's an invasion. People are in there. They are trying to kill you. You don't need to bow. You don't need to play fair. So after you have 3, you can do this. So, say the fucking. He's going to give us a favor. Now, as for the baby, it's going to take us a little bit of time to get there. There are a couple. There's one right up here that we can go do that. We're going to go to that area for quite a bit. There's also a teleporter right over here by the Full Belfry. So it'll take us to a place we can get the baby at the very start of the game. Either of those are fine, but we're not going to get to that for a bit, you know, because we still, you know, you've seen how much of the zone we've done. We still got to do like all of this, and we still got to do this whole central area. We still got to do all of this stuff over here. There's a lot here. So for now, that quest line is done. We're going to continue a little bit later. Head over to probably on the lake. Let's see how much I have. I have the crystals, I have the almanacs, I have the boss, killer, cave. Yeah, I think this seems like a good spot for Brett. But yeah, keep in mind, you don't like PvP. Bigger set around, so you can do those big stuff. We're going to wrap things up here. I need to do more walkthrough prep. Get some more notes ready to go. Doesn't fit every line. For the next episode, we're going to do the Secret Village. We're going to get the first half of the season. What is happening? I'm looking on back to the top. So here we are at Polly the Lake. But before we do this next part, we're actually going to run back over here, and I want to make sure that we have exhausted all of the Felon's dialogue, because we're about to really get into her question. So she's here.
See you again.
Yep, that's all we needed. It's about time I head off. But she's going to be in the next area we're going to. That's what I want. We're also about to fight 2 of crystal type monsters.
Franchise mode. Continue.